back with Father McMahon. We're getting ready for number 3 and 4 on the list. Before I say number 4 and let you introduce it, is there any preface this time? I'm starting to learn.
Okay, preface. No particular preface this one, other than we've got more brothers involved, and we've got. I mean, this is it. This is the top 4, and we're getting right down to it. This
is exciting. So number 4. As a rugby coach, I'm excited to hear this one about this guy right here that's coming up.
Yeah, I think. I mean, in many ways, I would probably have to say this is the best athlete we've had at La Salette. Just the combination of all the things you're looking for in a high school athlete. In terms of what happens afterward, there's some things lacking maybe in terms of being a great athlete at the next level. But certainly as a high school athlete, the composite here made him the speed, quickness, athletic IQ, had that a little bit of meanness, that meanness that sometimes can take you over the top. But number 4, basketball-wise, I would say number 1, of course, rugby-wise, but number 4, basketball-wise, is the captain, and the only one I think who's been captain in the same year, both rugby and the basketball team. Basketball, number 21, Eric Populus, class of 2008. Eric finished with almost 500 points. At the time would have been the leading scorer in La Salette history, at least in the early years of La Salette. His high scoring game was 25, most notable for his rebounding, tenacity. I had mentioned earlier that Father James Carlyle was known for shooting and shooting a lot. Eric probably shot more. I do remember one Latin class a day after a game after Eric had, I believe, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, that he took 37 shots in a game, and unfortunately made 3. Which contributed to him being one of the best rebounders in program history, and in his senior year he led the entire Central Illinois area in rebounding. And we used to always joke, I don't know how far, there's always seriousness in jokes, how far it's a joke. It was because of so many missed shots. He would miss and rebound and miss and rebound and miss and rebound and finally score or not score. However, I think that's not, I don't want to detract from our number 4 on the list, who was someone you definitely would want on your team. It's a guy in clutch time who you would want with the ball. He averaged, I believe he finished in his junior and senior year averaging 15 points and 9.7, so almost 10 rebounds a game. That's pretty impressive over the course of a junior and senior year. I think he would have been honorable mention in the News Gazette basketball team. But just overall a great athlete, a great on-the-field leader, someone who is not afraid to hit the hole. We often have a certain timidity in many of our athletes. Maybe it's based upon the lack of skill and experience, or maybe it's based upon temperament, maybe it's based upon a false sense of virtue and what that means, but Eric did not lack those things. If it needed to be done, he got the job done. And I think, again, when the games were on the line, it's the kind of guy you wanted on your team. You didn't mind going into the trenches with Eric Populus. Number 21, class of 2008.
All right. Well, there's number 4. Now, number 3.
Get to number 3, also a number 21, wore it after Eric, class of 2010. Michael Middlemore is number 10, excuse me, and number 3. And Michael was maybe, I think, arguably the best basketball player. Smooth and maybe at times didn't work as hard as he could have. And that would have been something, that holds him back from being 1 or 2. But again, a guy who came to play in the big games. His high game, I believe, was 32, and that was against North Vermilion. We have this all-time list of, scorers of top scorers. So now we had the ridiculous amount of 57 last year with James Deister. John Ranowski had 39. Adam Gates at the time, 27. Dominic Martin, but they did it in games against stinkers, and we were specifically feeding them the ball. Someone who does it in a game when you just have to do it. Middlemore did against North Vermilion, which was a good team. We were down by a bunch of points, and he just took us on our back and brought us all the way back. We lost, but only lost by a few. And the biggest was the Corona Maria in 2010 for our 5th straight defeat of St. Mary's. Michael scored 30 points. He scored 30 in a rivalry game. That says something. He had a beautiful shot. went to the basket really nicely. And again, one of those few Salette athletes who had a certain athletic IQ. You could assume he knew, he could anticipate rather than simply react. I think he finished, I've got the list, I think he finished as our #1 scorer after, he did. So he, 2 years after Eric became the leading scorer, Michael Middlemore then became the leading scorer with 420, or a little under 500 points.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. We're down to the final 2 in our next video. Have you got those top 2 sorted?
It's tight.
It's
gonna be tight. I mean, you get that even right now. You're for this reason, like I said before, for this reason, John Carlyle could be #1 for being that consummate overall great team player, common good oriented. Michael, in a certain sense, you could argue that he could be #1, not necessarily by the numbers, but he only played the 2 years. 1 and 2 is really going to be tight.
Well, I'm sure everyone at home is looking forward to hearing it. Well, thank you for joining me for 3 and 4.
Oh, good job.
And we'll have 1 and 2 coming to you the next game.
Go Lions.